It's a good feeling. Sense of accomplishment and pride. Damn it, I just love it so much.
On the TCG business, started on the 23rd of May. Today's the 24th of June. So we're sitting at our first month in the books. Just hit 279 orders and pretty close to just under 4,000 in gross sales. And things are moving along. It's been going good. Bulk's moving, especially the hollows, reverse hollows. Those are moving really great, especially the modern ones for people out there. Master set. Did a few local trades too for my personal collection, but all things equal, things are moving along pretty good. Picked up about three or so different collections in the local area since then. Some vintage, and then a nice fat stack of modern SIRs last weekend. I only have a couple of those left. Those actually sold really quick. And again, I'm not racing to the bottom, but I am toward that top of the list when people do their searches. And I can definitely say that the TCGtracking auto pricing tool that I've been using has been amazing. Super helpful, really deep. I'll do a deep dive on that probably this week sometime, try to get it out there, because it's not really something I see anybody talking about, even in some Discords that I'm in. I talk about the auto pricing tool outside of the TCGtracking Discord. And a lot of people don't really use it, or they don't know it's there, or don't know just the level of detail that you can get into with regard to how to price things automatically and have it sync with TCG Player very, very quickly. By the way, TCGtracking, although most people are using it for tracked shipping on plain white envelopes, it's way more capable than people think it is. And the inventory system and the auto pricing tools are very, very quick. The bridge that they have when you connect your TCG Player account and pull orders, it's really fast. And the synchronization for auto pricing is really fast too. It's not quite fully automated. It's semi-automated right now. So a couple times a day in the morning before I go to work, I'll update my prices, usually when I come home. And then at night after I pull order and before I go to bed, I will do it again one more time. But first month in the books, going good. Only real thing that I can say as a new guy in the space that's kind of, for the lack of a better word, annoying, is conditioning cards when you pick up collections. Everybody thinks their kid's the best kid. Everybody thinks their pet's the best pet. And everybody thinks their card is a freshly pulled from a pack, never seen a speck of dust, never touched by a human hand, near mint copy. And a lot of times it's not even close. So discussing prices with people in person when you're talking conditioning can be pretty interesting at times, especially when you're telling somebody their stuff isn't worth as much as they think it was. But then at the same time, as much as I'm trying to be objective in conditioning cards, you're still really at the mercy of the opinion of the person receiving it on the distant end. Even if you try to play it safe, you're never going to make everybody happy. If your goal is to make everyone happy, you've already failed. I learned that 26 years in the military. You're never going to make everybody happy, right? The water is too wet. I don't like it. Even if it's some minuscule $3 or $4 order, if it's not to the level of expectation that they have, which is typically unreasonable at times, you might get some messages. Because TCG Player provides a semi-objective conditioning guide that explains all the various defects, what they are, picture of what each of those defects are, provide definitions of slight, minor, major, and all those things. And it has a point value system to where specific defects that fall under slight or minor or etc. are classified as X number of points. And you add up all those points and you see, okay, how many points does this card have? Does it have three points? Like -2 points or -3 points or -12 points? And what a lot of people don't understand and what a lot of people don't agree with is the fact that TCG Player Conditioning Guide allows for a few points of defects for something to be still near mint, or many, many more points for something to be light played. And if a card comes out to be absolutely light played, in accordance with those guidelines, someone might get it and be like, no, this is damaged, or this is heavily played. And then your customer service skills kick in, right? How are you going to interact with customers? Is the juice worth the squeeze, right? I had a bunch of lightly played and moderately played, common, uncommon, vintage stuff. And honestly, they were barely light played, and they looked great. I listed most of them as moderately played on a $5 order, and I thought this person was going to blow a gasket. But again, you know, our skills kick in. Oh, hey, we're sorry you're not happy with the condition of the cards, etc., etc. You know, we do our best to utilize the TCG player conditioning guidelines, not in an argumentative way, but just in a kind of an educational way, because some people don't even know that guidebook even exists. And offer them some sessions, you know, offer them, you know, partial refund, full refund. So this particular order, $5, I just refunded his whole order instead of just turning it into a big internet argument about conditioning standards, and I guess risk them getting on there and trying to poo-poo me in the feedback. I got a lot of amazing feedback right now that I've worked very hard to get, and not looking for some $5 order to have somebody get out there and poo-poo me all up and down the feedback screen. But that's kind of a pain. The next collection I picked up was all just near mint modern, fresh pack, pulled, tossed in top loaders, pristine. And the gentleman was getting rid of it at an amazing price that I couldn't pass up. After I did the math, it came out to about 60% market. No way I wasn't picking that up. And started listing his cards that night. Sold about half of them in 2 days. I only got a couple of them left. I hope to be dealing with him in the future. But moving forward, sourcing collections, I'm definitely going to be in that more minty, pack pulled and bindered, not played cards, just to keep it safe. Because even a lot of those cards that I got, you know, I condition them sometimes like, you know, one down. Like if I thought it was light played, I listed it as moderately played. If I thought it was moderately played, I listed it as heavily played, just to try to help curb some of that chatter, but didn't really stop the squawk box. We'll see. Other than that, I've had a couple orders that didn't make it to the distant end, even though TCGtracking reported as delivered. Customer said they never got it. They weren't expensive orders, so I wasn't too worried about it. Usually about anything over $15 or so, I'll insure it through TCGtracking. And then I've only had one return to sender. I guess this individual just moved to the location they're at shortly after or shortly before making their order. Got that back in the mail yesterday, contacted them, let them know, hey, I got this thing returned back to sender. They let me know a couple of other sellers told them the same thing. And then they did what they could to remediate that. So it's back in the mail again, round 2. We'll see what happens. But if it's returned to sender again, I'm just going to refund the dude his money and throw the carts back in my inventory. It wasn't anything too crazy. It was a bunch of trainers. You could tell he's building the deck. But no, it's been wild. It's been crazy. Only other big update is we do have a pro seller site. So if you guys want to save 5% on all of our cards off of our listed market price every single day, you can go out to the pro seller site, link in the bio, link in the description, and save 5% off of everything that we have. The fees on pro seller site, when I sell on that site, are less, and I just pass that on to you guys. So if you want to help support me, support us, go out to the pro seller site. If you're looking to buy some cards, perfect chaos, we would appreciate it. Things have been pretty busy. Scanners putting into work and just slowly getting cards listed. You know, life being what it is, me and the triplets and my day job, I'm only listing a couple hundred cards a night before bed. But consistently doing that every day, I'll get it knocked out eventually. But no, I just want to give you guys an update. Like I said, pretty excited. 279 orders, just under $4,000 in gross sales. Things are going good. Check you guys later.